Welcome to my inquiry-based learning project. My name is Dixie Tanner. My topic is too much screen time bad for kids? I chose this topic because as a future mother, I want to make sure that any technology used will be for the benefit of my children. Also, as an educator, I would like to promote learning in a healthy manner that builds a foundation for the future skills of my students. Also, I want my parents to know that I will use technology in the classroom in a way that is beneficial to them and not harmful. I chose this topic because it's important to consider whenever you're integrating technology into the curriculum that the technology used in the whole process will be beneficial. Some important terms to define are technology, screen time, curriculum, and well-being. Technology relates to any electronic device that can be used for entertainment purposes. Screen time is going to refer to the amount of time spent on a technological device. Curriculum is going to relate to the content relating to the standard that will be taught, and well-being will relate to the state of being healthy, happy, or comfortable. For my first article by Twenge and Campbell, they decided to conduct research to see if there was a relationship between screen time and the emotional well-being of children aged 2 to 17. They found from their results that high screen time usage led to a negative correlation with psychological well-being. So they found that more screen time that was used, the lower the overall psychological well-being was in the children. So the lower psychological well-being in the children actually includes poor emotional regulation, difficulty in making friends, inability to complete tasks, higher rates of a diagnosis of anxiety or depression, and lower self-control. They felt that these things were included because social media can replace face-to-face interactions. Children that are younger are getting access to their own smartphone, and therefore they're taking it into the bedroom and not able to sleep properly at night. And overall, just children are consuming it at a higher rate. The second article is a review article by Dominique and Montanari, and they wanted to see how excessive screen time affects children psychologically and clinically. Currently, there's a recommendation by the American Academy of Pediatrics that recommends that children under 2 years of age should not have any screen time with electronic media. The American Academy of Pediatrics also recommends that children over 2 years of age should spend less than 2 hours a day with electronic media. Currently, 90% of the parents are ignoring the recommendations set by the AAP. When they continued to review several different studies, they've argued that screen time does have several clinical and psychological effects on children. They found that it may lead to lack in physical strength because children are deciding to participate in screen time versus physical activities. They found that it led to poor diet that could lead to obesity because they felt that children were eating more unhealthy snacks when engaging in screen time. They found that lower sleep efficiency and duration happens because children are trying to watch TV when going to sleep. And then they have an overall reduced psychological well-being. They show that they are more prone to anxiety and depression through participating with social media, and that they don't have the same face-to-face interactions that people who engage in less screen time do. So for my third article, they decided to conduct research to see how screen time exposure has been associated with children who have developmental delays. And before they began, they found that the average amount of screen time for children aged 8 years or older in the United States is almost 6.5 hours a day, but 6.4 hours a day. So the goal of this study is to see, are there any specific factors that may affect sleep duration in students or children rather that have developmental delays, and is screen time a possible factor? The results did find that children with developmental delays who are exposed to an excessive amount of screen time is negatively affected. They found that they do have a lower sleep duration and efficiency, and this may actually lead to an even lower academic achievement or academic performance because of the lack of sleep. So, children who have developmental delays are already performing at a lower standard, but now because of the lack of sleep, they're performing even less. So, one thing that the researchers did is they suggested that they could improve sleep duration and overall better health for children with developmental delays by educating the parents on how to limit the screen time usage with their children. For my last article, they decided to look at the health-related quality of life in obese and healthy weight children and see if there were multiple factors that affected them. They found in this study that screen time engagement had a consistent impact on the health-related quality of life of children overall across the board. More specifically, they found in females that watching TV lowered this health-related quality of life, and they found that in males, playing video games lowered this health-related quality of life. So what is the final verdict? The final verdict is that too much screen time can, in fact, affect the health and well-being of children. The consensus shows that evidence that screen time has negative effects on the psychological and physical well-being of children. These negative effects were seen in sleep, the developmental processes, in weight, and intellectual processes. These results were not surprising. Children tend to crave screen time in a way that can be described as addicting, and so I found that these results seem to line up with my own beliefs. What are the future impacts of this? I believe children should have restricted screen time to prevent impacts as they are growing and maturing intellectually. This is a task for their parents, but I believe teachers can play a role in this as well. Technology is convenient, easy to use, and engaging for students, but teachers should try to limit students from using technology too much in their classrooms. All the studies discuss screen time as entertainment for students, but technology should be used for education in the classroom. Teachers should ask themselves if the technology for the lesson is to teach the students or to entertain the students. There can be a little room for enjoyment, such as learning games, but any free tech time that they have should be limited to a weekly basis. For future impacts, I will ensure in my classroom that technology will be used for the purposes of learning content with the goal of enhancing the content. Also, I feel the use of videos, learning games, and any other technology or technological activity that can be viewed as entertainment will be embedded in the lesson as a supplement, not the whole method of delivery. Also, any free time with technology will be limited to 30 minutes a week within the classroom. I thank you for listening to my inquiry-based learning project, and if you'd like to learn more, these are the references that I used. Thank you.